I took a call yesterday. It was about just before 8:30. Not that that really matters. From Fani and Gugulethu, and he said that he'd noticed many more pit bulls coming into that area of Cape Town, and those pit bulls were unrestrained. They were running loose in the neighbourhood, and he had noticed many of them being aggressive and snapping at children. Then got a call from Seth talking about a recent survey in which he had taken part, suggesting that many of the child injuries reported to day hospitals in townships are as a result of dog bites. We're joined on the line now by Professor Sebastian van As, who is head of trauma at the Red Cross Children's Hospital. Sebastian, a very good morning.
Good morning, John.
I mean, I was having a look at the Red Cross Children's Hospital trauma stats for last year, and yes, there were dog bites, 92 of them, but it was relatively low down the cause of childhood trauma coming into your hospital.
Yes, there are a number of issues, of course, there. In our hospital, we don't cover the whole of Cape Town, only about half of it. And then we only see children up to the age of 12. And if you look at dog bites in children, they are actually quite frequent. On average, we did a review a few years ago, and we looked at 13 years of dog bites, which we treated in hospital, and we had more than 1,800 children. So that's really a lot. And of the children who are injured, the majority of them are actually very small. They are under the age of 6, and they're very often attacked by a large dog. So one thing would obviously be to make sure that there's no large dogs around children in order to prevent these injuries. Another interesting thing is that actually boys are much more bitten, more than double than girls. So boys, obviously, I don't know if their behavior towards the dogs is different.
Yeah, one imagines that boys are more likely to go to a dog, and girls are more likely, perhaps, to stay away from it.
Yeah, but nearly from all the dog bites, 70% was boys and only 30% was girls. Now, what is dangerous, John, especially when small children are attacked by a dog, then usually the dog takes, of course, the most vulnerable part, and it's usually the face, or the head and the neck, and that can really lead to very serious injuries. And we've seen every year we see a few like really serious injuries. What we've noticed also is that the small children, up to the age of 4 or 5, they're usually attacked in the home environment. So usually at home, it's often their own dog in and around the yard. While bigger children, so from the age of 6 onwards, they're usually more bitten when they were on their way or from their way to school. Now, one important thing is with small children that dogs are pack animals, which means there's a sequence. So if there's a young couple, then usually the male is number 1, the female is number 2, and the dog is number 3 in the ranking order. This is very important for the dog. So if there's a new baby arriving, then this baby dislodges this dog from number 3 and makes it number 4. And that can lead to a lot of jealousy in these dogs.
Did your survey look at the breeds of dogs responsible? You said large dogs, and again, that makes common sense. A large dog is more likely to inflict the kind of bite which is going to need medical intervention than a small dog, although a small dog can do it. But, given the fact that the call yesterday said that pit bulls are responsible for more and more bites in the Gugulethu area, I wondered if you had a look at breeds.
Yeah, we don't. The unfortunate thing is I can give you my ideas, but we don't document it, so it's not really accurate. But my feeling generally is that far more pit bull attacks to children than we had, let's say, 10 years ago, and we had some tragic ones of that. And of course, I mean, it's understandable because these dogs, they are bred for fighting, and they're very aggressive. So the main message I would like to hand out there into the community: make sure that if you've got a small dog, a small child, that he's never around with a large dog by himself. And also, I mean, so there have been cases in which, what I was telling you about, a young couple with a dog, and then a new baby arrives, and this dog gets jealous, and if this dog then is left alone with the child, he can, before that, completely unprecedented, he can just go for the child.
Professor Sebastian van As, thank you very much indeed, head of trauma at the Red Cross Children's Hospital.